Recording. All right. Hello, people. Once again here on Fiction. No, not on Fiction Radio. This is Zyberpunky and Friends. Okay. Let's. All right. So we have here. Yes. Officer Dan. It's been a while.
Hello. Hi, Desu. Yes.
Yes. It has been a long time.
You have been well.
Oh yes. So anxious to have you here. So very happy to have you back on these podcasts. And there has been a lot of things have been happening lately in the gaming industry, such as the E3 2020. It has been changing through all these years, but this year in particular has been a lot of changes. Can you talk about a little bit about what's happening right now on the E3?
More people, like big names more than ever, are pulling out and potentially not even having booths. Because I was trying to, I brought this up just a little bit before we started. Mm-hmm. I think it's just rumored that Nintendo might not have a booth, which is hard to believe.
Right.
But they were the ones to set the trend for like having, the directs and just having videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think maybe that's some of where it's coming from, but we have people like Sony potentially not being there at all. Who else?
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley's not like involved at all. It's interesting to me because it's still a good jaunt away. We're recording this in the middle of February.
Right.
The E3 happens in June, but still E3 is a show that takes an entire year to put on. I mean, I've heard the big names, even like, big Phil Spencer himself say stuff like a day after E3's over, it's just like, we're already like planning for next year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it is a big thing. And you know what? It's like perpetuated by people like us, by content creators like us. Right. We always, like, there's people out there always all the time saying, yay, it's video game Christmas. It's video game announcement Christmas, as I've heard it been said.
Yeah, it's like a Super Bowl thing for us. It's that kind of feeling. So yeah, coming into this, situation for E3, it is kind of weird because once you like get used to something and then just little by little just starts to be the nothing. Mm-hmm. It starts to be like, okay, like everyone is going to start doing their own stuff because Nintendo was the first one of the first one who made the direct and their own stuff back in the day. I think it was started 2014 or 13, something like that.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you the dates, but I don't actually know.
It was around last decade. Let's say it like that. Last decade. So, Nintendo started it, and we're like, man, Nintendo's doing their stuff again. And but we know right now that Nintendo was right from the beginning. I mean, right now, we can see everything in the internet. It's like all these leaks, all these news, all these events, they can just put it online in the trailer in their YouTube channel. Unlike before, like the early 2000s or the 90s, internet wasn't that kind of the big thing. Now it's, changes. And it feels like, okay, the internet is taking over, and it just feels weird because even E3 was also on TV. Because E3 was actually televised on TV.
Yes.
So that I also changed from TV to internet, and then internet to everyone doing their own stuff. And it just feels weird because, like you said, Dan, we always go to these, watch these events, and I would want to be surprised. But right now, when they do it, it's like, I already knew that.
Man, yeah, they have we have a problem with people leaking stuff like now
Yeah.
more than ever. It's not even just malicious. That's a really good point, because it's not even just people just out to leak stuff for like
Right.
internet notoriety. There's like it's easier for retailers to even screw up,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and accidentally leak stuff out. I forget what situation that was. It might have been. I think that was Randy that called out like Walmart Canada or something like that
I
from the
remember
E3
that.
stage.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm not too far off in my memory there.
Yeah, I think it was
It's
2018
mhm.
that happened. That like Walmart Canada, I think was leaking the Gears of War 5 maybe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like, and they were like actually like naming the price too. And like, man, aren't these people way too early to announce this? It was just a leak, and like, oh gosh, this is a spoiler alert right now. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's out of our control. Because it's basically internet. Internet is the kind of like the source that everyone just goes in. You go into your computer or go on your phone. Even with memes, man. Even with memes, you can like tell, okay, that can be true, and then it
Yeah.
just bam, there we go. It's it's uncontrollable these days. I mean, for E3, I just feel really bad that this kind of event is slowly dying. Um,
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah,
you brought up watching it on TV. I'm already kind of on a trip of looking through G4 and Tech TV.
damn G4.
And that's where I used to watch E3, man.
Yes,
I would
yes,
get
I
up in the
remember.
morning,
I remember.
and I
Yes.
would because that's when people would have their press conferences. They used to have
Yeah.
them in the morning all the time. And that's where I watched it. I was like even I wish I could remember what year it was. I probably have it sitting on the hard drive here because I was downloading some of that old stuff
Wow.
actually. Even just the other day,
Wow.
I really miss G4 and Tech TV. Enough for me to think about like potentially doing a video about it, which is why I have that sitting around. So
Indeed. I mean,
that's I
it
like I extra have that on the brain more than ever. Waking
nice.
up for that.
Well, those are good memories right there, and it's
Yeah.
like we cannot say goodbye yet to E3. Is that they need to change their format. There's ways to at least make a conference not being at LA, spend a lot of money because E3 is very expensive. Let's be real. E3 is very expensive. These events are not cheap. It is very expensive, and all these companies who are deadly rich, they
Mhm.
still need to pay. They're not there for free. They need to pay, for their space and their time there. And yeah, it's for me. I see like okay, has its pros and cons, but it's more cons than pros right now because right now I just see like Sony doing the same thing as Nintendo, and I'm like, man,
Yeah.
it's more economic and saving money for their own studios and their own things than just wasting it on an event that only lasts at least 3-4 days, maybe. It's it is very when you see it like that, it's okay. I can see that these kind of companies like Bethesda, EA, these third parties, let's just say third parties that they don't have hardware, like Square Enix, all these companies, besides Microsoft, but Microsoft is an exception right now because that's like the only one that has a hardware and making conferences on E3 today.
Mm-hmm.
So having these like EA and all these third party those I can say that okay, they can go to a conference and give us something, but at the same time, I feel like, but do they have something new to show us? Because they can actually show this on a trailer. They don't have anything else to reveal because they don't have a console or anything. But I can still see
Yeah.
that, okay, there's potential within them because they don't have to spend a lot of money on a console. I see it that way. But there is this and that because, I mean, when paying a console, like right now, Microsoft, they need a lot of money for their new console that's coming up this year. Now they have to spend more money on E3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of money. I know these are multi-billionaire companies, yes, but it's still money involved. Like, they could use that money for a lot of studios and a lot of people who are working with them. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Kind of crazy for somebody like Sony when we have PS5 coming this year,
yeah,
and them not being an E3 with it.
yeah, it's
That's pretty huge.
yeah, that's pretty huge because back in the days, if you do not reveal your console on an E3 event, you literally you just lost
What,
an
yeah, it's like,
opportunity.
what are you even doing?
Exactly. It's like you just lost a good advertisement for your product, and you're just gonna lose money. That
I
is
watched a video about 3DS stuff the other day. They had, like, Satoru Iwata was standing next to a pillar that raised up from the stage, and clouds of dry ice billowed from this pillar in the stage as a single 3DS was sitting on a pillar. Like, that's the time to do it. That's the time to go all
yes,
out.
yes. When was that? Was it on the Jesus?
Dude, the 3DS?
Yeah. Was it like a 2008 or something?
Oh, it's a
Or
little bit older than 2008, I think, right? I mean, 2008 was Brawl, which was on the Nintendo Wii. So,
right
2011, 2012
around there?
for the
Yes.
3DS?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That might have been,
3DS,
okay,
yes.
so that might have been E3 2011 or 2012.
Yeah,
Okay.
around there. Yeah, when they used to make events, Nintendo,
Yeah,
like
when they were showing
conference.
up.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, wow, how times fly, dude. Like, if that was the mentality back then. If you do not announce your product on E3, you just lost the opportunity to win more money, to
Yeah.
advertise your product. If it was not for that event, like, yeah, you will be in bankrupt right now. But right now, today, in this day and age, the mentality has changed so drastically that I
Yeah.
can say, like, wait, how from this come to this? Like, is there an actual transition? And that has to be the internet. Because right now, who watches TV today? I only watch TV today because of sports, but not for TV shows. And not for Judge Judy or
No, yeah.
I just
I'm
watch.
in the same boat. I haven't for years. It's just been
Yeah, it's all streaming services.
YouTube or a streaming service, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like cable. What is that? And that's what E3 was back in the days. It was
Yeah.
on cable. It was not on the internet.
Still, rest in peace, Tech TV. I just have them so fresh in the mind because of that.
Like, now I can say, like, damn, I'm freaking old. and say, like, oh, time has changed. And it feels like from a VHS to a CD, DVD, to a Blu-ray, to digital. It just feels, weird, Dan. Because right now, like, I know that E3 is a really cool event for us gamers, but it's, like I've been telling, it's slowly dying. And what can E3 do to maintain themselves relevant these days?
Sure. Great question.
Yes.
It's something I hope that they're thinking about,
Oh yes, most
because
definitely.
I mean, it's been a part of my life for so long. And again, the quote unquote video game Christmas that we all call it,
Yes.
it's so widespread in the gaming community. I don't think that's going away for a bit. Like,
Not at all.
so I mean, I can't help but think about how they might consider like what other gaming get-togethers and conferences do to begin with. The fact that they allowed this last few E3s, like the general public, to even show up was announced so quietly. That used to only be the gaming press
Mm-hmm.
and like journalists and stuff. And then
Yes.
I think that was a step that they took to get more traffic to like help it do better, which was to let the general public in. You already have the general public in. Just start looking at other big gaming conventions. The easiest one would be, Penny Arcade Expo or PAX. You already
Right.
have developers showing up to that and
Mm-hmm.
the general public, and you don't see them hurting at all. I can't. I'm not in a position to compare E3 numbers in PAX, but PAX happens multiple times a year
Right. It's
in
not every
different
year.
parts of the world.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Have like, see, you have to have some pull to get like the big guys in at this point. I mean, there's already like the occasional game announcement from people like them and journalists going to that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, E3 should just start to make it even more of a convention environment, because
Right.
it's already started to.
Yes.
And that convention environment, does what other things do, which is just, uh, community events.
Right.
Like, imagine, Nintendo being there and they host another Smash tournament. Like, they just keep that up year
Right.
after year.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they have like the other big companies do that
Yeah.
and give them the chance, big demo stations for stuff. Because again, we talked about like, not having hardware to show off to the
Right.
people is like a
Mm-hmm.
big deal. I can't help but think about Resident Evil 7 when they were first showing off how that was coming out for VR.
All right.
It was really widely reported that people
Mm-hmm.
that were playing Resident Evil 7 VR were getting sick. And they took the feedback from people at E3 and they adjusted the game with even more comfort settings.
Nice.
Just VR, period, since that is just going to become, I think, an even bigger chunk of the gaming market. That's like the best way to advertise it, is for people to be able to do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm rambling a little bit.
Nice.
What would you do for E3 at this stage in its life?
At this stage, man, it's kind of hard, but they can still manage if they. Um, this might sound very out of place, but right now, even though the Game Awards is almost kind of like an E3 event,
Yeah, kind of.
it's kind of, but for me, I think that is the competition to it right now. I can say, okay, there's awards and there's reveals.
Yeah.
And last year
And it also takes all year.
exactly. And right now I'm seeing like, okay, it's been 3 years straight with this kind of feeling for the Game Awards. And right now I'm like saying, if Jeff Keighley actually like bailing out E3 because of his own event, maybe, maybe not, because he has his own thing. Yeah, we have to be real here. Now E3, all it needs to do is at least take some things from the Game Awards and not doing awards. It's like
Yeah.
how these reveals, because they're leaks, yes. There's rumors, yes. But take those leaks and rumors and Just do what Microsoft did on the Game Awards, because no one was expecting to have the Xbox Series X revealed that night. No one expected that. Like, yeah, there were rumors, there were leaks, but they were not actually going to like see it on a Game Awards. Now, if E3 takes that, like, take the unexpected, because right now all these events needs to have the unexpected, because everyone is just thinking, oh, they're just going to reveal this and that. But if you just have to look in the internet, what people are talking about, what people are most anticipated about, and what people are not going to anticipate. It's very hard these days, but the event that the Game Awards presented last year, there were some few surprises there, and that's what I want E3 to feel. They still have it, because I know it's like E3 last year with the Xbox and the reveal of the Zyberpunk 2077 with Keanu Reeves was very surprising, but that's it. You know, and they still freaking delayed the game anyways. You know, it comes to that kind of point where, okay, we know that this game is coming, and we know that you guys have to reveal the release date. But what happens is they did that. People expected that, and they need something else besides that. They need something new. They need something fresh. They need something that not hiring actors, because I know they're in LA and all that. But I mean, Keanu is a cool guy, and I love Keanu Reeves. There's a lot of actors that I love and admire. But if that's going to be your surprise, then you have to work on that, because Keanu Reeves last year, when he said the release date, was for nothing. You get what I mean? It's like, then months later, oh, we're going to delay the game. Then what was the whole point of Keanu being on the E3 last year?
I mean, he is in it.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Of course, but the people wanted a hardcore release date.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that people are most expecting.
Exactly. Like, people didn't expect Keanu Reeves being in the game. Like, that was a surprise. But when is it coming out? That's where people most wait for an event of E3 or the Game Awards right now, because the Game Awards, it's kind of weird when they do it, because it's most the awards and then some games and some trailers and reveals. But yeah, they need more of that surprise thing, because if they do follow the leaks, then people might expect that. If they don't, then people may be mad at that. So it's very hard. It's very hard. So the new ideas, they need to talk to the headquarters there, or someone that has fresh ideas for an event on E3, because I know that the event of E3 is the company's type of thing, because it's not an event that just only one company reveals something, because we have Bethesda, we have Square Enix, we have EA, we have Ubisoft, and all these companies needs to know. They need to know how to reveal stuff and know how to surprise people these days, because we know what's coming because of an internet, and it's not our fault that we know that what's gonna happen. It's just the internet is literally so easy to just access. You know, it is what it is, and it's not our fault either. So it's this E3 and the companies that are going on E3. They need to do something new, because either way, even though if Bethesda or Square Enix might do direct their own stuff, which little by little I can see that coming. Then E3 is going to disappear, and that's gonna be, well, that event was something in the past, and I do not want to see that. I want to see that E3 stays relevant, but it's so hard these days to just stay and maintain that kind of surprise you. You know, it's so hard, man. I really feel bad because I know a lot of people will lose their job on E3, like, and all these journalists. Let's talk a little bit about the journalists. I mean, journalists go there to take information from the game, the product, and all that, and that information.
And our favorite
comes
content creators are going there too.
And that's. I mean, Jeff Keighley is one of them. I mean, it's
yeah.
It is what it is, man. It's I mean, man, I don't know if Angry Joe will go this year. I can see this slowly being something in the past, but they can still survive for what they have. And I know it's like a group of companies coming together to reveal their stuff, but they can still do it very smart on the online, or have their own type of website or channel that all these companies, they don't have to go somewhere specific like LA all the time. Just do it from their home, from a direct, and just go watch it on, let's see, for example, E3 YouTube channel, whatever the hell, and they gain a lot of subscribers, and a lot of journalists go there and see it from there. And they don't have to spend a lot of money to go to an event, to go and present, and to go to in front of journalists and be nervous in front of the journalists and do something shitty. So yeah, it's I hate to say it, but it's slowly dying. Do you see the same thing, Dan?
No, yeah.
It is what it is. Wow. So yeah, it's So yeah, what do you guys think about this kind of event that has been how many years now?
Dude, I don't even know, man. It's been forever.
Oof, because this thing started before, you know, video games was something. Because this was not just video games. This was actually electronic thing.
Yeah.
So
I don't know when it started, but it's been a really long time.
It is.
Really
it has been. So they need new fresh stuff to keep on being relevant. So if they want to survive, they need new ideas. They need new people. They need a new source, something to survive the internet, the memes, the leaks, the rumors, and all that shit. So
yeah, there's other people out there doing any vague similar thing at all that they probably should be taking cues from, you know. There's still Games Developers Conference. There's still like Tokyo Game Show in Japan.
Right.
There's still, I think, cons are worth looking into. Like, I don't know, like I just keep thinking of PAX as one.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. I think this will be it, guys. So yeah, guys, please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. This has been Zyberpunky.
I'm Officer Dan. Lately, I've been streaming over on Twitch a variety of things. Twitch.tv/SodaWaveLive.
Should follow. All right, guys. See you guys later.